Welcome to Hockey History with Mark. Today we're going to be responding to this comment, and I'm going to try to briefly go through the many ways that the NHL has structured their playoffs. Before we do this though, go ahead and hit that plus sign so I can have more hockey friends. I need as many as I can get. So we're going to start this in the original six era, so 1942, because everything before that was just weird and it seemed to change every single year based on what teams were actually even in the league. So in the original six era, the playoffs were structured where the first place team would play the third place team, the second place team would play the fourth place team in best of 7 series, and then the winners of those series would go on to play each other for the Stanley Cup. The next big shakeup we saw was in 1967, shout out Leaf fans, when the league expanded from 6 to 12 teams. And the structure stayed the same, except they were split into divisions, West and East. You can think of them as conferences for the modern brain, but so the top 4 teams in the West would play, the top 4 teams in the East would play, all 7-game series. The winners coming out of each of those divisions would play for the Stanley Cup. From like 77 to 93, it's kind of weird and different, but all you really need to know is that this is when the concept of wildcard teams were introduced. So divisions were not necessarily the end-all be-all. We had some wildcard teams start to enter the picture. 1993 was the beautiful and wonderful, and I wish they would go back to an introduction of the 1 through 8 system. So basically the first place team would play the 8th place team, 2nd, 7th, and so on, and then it would all reseed, and then finally we would end with 2 teams playing for the Stanley Cup. And then in 2013, old Gare Bear introduced the absolutely atrocious playoff format we have now. The top 3 teams in each division make the playoffs, with 2 wild cards coming from each conference to make up the 16 playoff teams. 2nd and 3rd place in each division play each other, and the division winners play the wild card teams. It sucks. So yeah, hopefully that made sense.